Billa
Mommy!
vibes, yard style from uptown
I
to
want
downtown
time.
and all around.
Watcha.
Billa
And the time for
vibes,
yard
yard
vibes.
style. Billa vibes, yard style from uptown to downtown and all around.
So yeah, today so today we're gonna be making beef stew. Of course, we already have cow skin, our beef, of course, you know, the meat. Everything is already ready. Just cut them up to the size that you would like it to be. And then of course, we're taking it up a notch today, and we are also making chicken with it, right? So right now we just need to boil the chicken and the beef. The cow skin we're gonna boil, but we don't really fry the cow skin. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Of course, we have different ingredients that goes into making, of course, the beef and the chicken. We pretty much just gonna put them all in one pot. So I'm gonna actually get Mr. Jeeks to come over and just kind of dispense these things in pot. He loves the beef stew actually, and he's from Jamaica. You know this is really good when a Jamaican loves something from Africa. But that being said, come on please. So the water is already on the stove. I'm just pretty much gonna transfer the meat in the pot. It's already washed. Of course, you have to wash it. Make sure it's properly washed. Some people like to use lime to wash their meat. Some people like to use vinegar. Depends on what really floats your boat. You can definitely, of course, use whatever you think is best for you. For me, of course, I washed it with water only, properly. So right now, we are about to. So you just want to make sure. Some people just like to put the water in, you know, put the meat and the water in together. But I'm just pretty much going to make sure that my water is boiled. It kind of makes things a little bit faster.
So African style, just use your hand and get to work.
Hey, that's the best thing. And I think everybody there will agree with me to that. The best thing is to use your hand. Using forks and stuff. You need to feel what you're working with. So,
You're adding all the meats together in one pot?
pretty much yes. Well, all the chicken is not going to be going in, and the reason why is because I'm using this for something different. But of course, I like to chop my stuff way before time. I don't like to do it last minute. That's all the chicken that I'm using. Pot is fully loaded. So now we're gonna go straight to, of course, the type of seasoning that you use. Of course, for me, I like to have a towel right beside me and make sure that I wash and clean, you know, just pretty much wipe. This, of course, is crayfish. It's kind of like the smaller shrimp, but this is blended. It's an African style. If you know Africa, or if you grew up in Africa, you know exactly what this is. My Benin people, they call it izinofwa. So pretty much, you know, it gives it a very nice flavor. You want to spread some on it a bit, of course. I feel like I use a small pot. I should have used a bigger pot, but you know, we love our meat, right? And then, of course, curry powder. I want to put some curry powder in this meat. Gives it a nice smell, of course. And then, of course, you want to use garlic, pepper, and herbs. So this is pretty much like all purpose, but you know, something that I've been using for a while. It's nice.
So no measurements, right?
I don't really do measurements. The reason why is because, hey, when you're giving a certain gift, you don't really need the machines to do it for you. I just know when to stop shaking. And now I'm using a little bit of black pepper. So just a bit.
So just like Jamaican, we like our pot well seasoned.
And then of course, you know, I'm putting my salt. You need a little bit of salt. I know some people like thyme.
No, we said thyme.
It's a bit of thyme, you know. It gives it a really nice flavor. When we make jollof rice, I don't know, one day we're gonna have to make jollof rice together as well. This gives that jollof rice a very decent flavor. But nevertheless, let's move on. So, we're using garlic powder. A bit of garlic powder is nice. Wow, I can smell that thyme already. It smells so good. And then we're going to use some ground pepper, ground hot pepper. When you go to an African store, you can always get it, you know. It's not that expensive. You want it to be pepper as well. I love pepper. I don't know about you guys, but I love pepper. And then the chicken cube.
The main ingredients. This is what every African household has.
Oh man, it's so good. So now everything looks good. Nothing's bubbling over. Just drop it right up. And make sure you keep your stove on medium low and you're good to go. Don't let it bubble over. And that's it. So we are going to be blending, of course, sweet pepper. We have, this was 2 sweet pepper. Some people call it what, bell pepper. So we are also going to be blending, this much ginger is fine, you don't need too much. And then of course 2 full onions.
Like the monster ones, the big ones.
Well, they're not really monster. And then of course we had 3 tomato, right? So what I'm about to do, I'm about to actually blend these up. Vitamix mixes up
Even raw. I'm joking.
So that being said, stop talking in my video. Eh? So I'm just pretty much gonna just, you know, blend up everything right now. And then we do have more things to blend up as well, but I will let you know what that is when we get there. Come over here. Jeez. About to add some water just to make the process a bit easier, because of course you do not want to just blend these without adding some water into it. And then cover it up. Yep, just blended all that ingredients. So now I'm about to add another pot to the stove. Of course, we are about to put this in the pot and have it boil. So pretty much what we're trying to do is trying to get out excess water that's in this from, of course, vegetables. So go ahead and pour that in there. There's more coming actually, and you're about to see them in a second. So I just added 2 of these tomato crush, diced tomato, sorry, of course. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of this crush just to give it the color as well. Like half of it is fine. You don't need too much of it because it's really, really strong. And then of course you want to add 2 pepper. Depends on how much you like your pepper. You can add more, you can add less, it depends on you, but me I like 2 because I'm also going to add more pepper anyways after. And you just blend it up as well, and then you add it to that pot exactly that's there, that's bubbling up and just trying to dry out the water.
Yeah.
So that's the color. That's what it looks like. And you just want to pour it in as well. Wow, this is full. This is full.
Okay, what's next, boss?
That's it. And you just have to wait for the next step. Yep. So of course the tomato paste, the tomato crush, the onion, the garlic, the ginger, everything I've been boiling for over, I would say 20 minutes. Of course our aim here is to make sure that all the water, like you can see here, the water is all boiled out. All you can see is just paste. And then of course we have the meat. It's pretty much ready. It's been there for like a good 30 minutes. We just want to make sure that everything is cooked, the blood is out, because we don't really like blood, you know, when it comes to the meat. So you got the beef, you got the chicken, and then the cow skin actually we took off because the cow skin was already roasted, and you don't want your cow skin soft already when you are cooking this thing. You want to have it a little bit hard, so when you put it in the stew, it looks. Okay, so this has been cooking, of course, for, you know, at least let's say around 45 minutes. And this is pretty much the paste that you're aiming for. You want to make sure all the water. Remember when we had it on, it was like literally up to here. You want to make sure all the water is out, and you want to have a nice, you know, paste, I guess. So that's pretty much what it is. It gives it a better taste. It doesn't give it that sour tomato taste. It gives it a nice blended with onion, garlic, whatever that we had on there. Give it a nice taste. So now we are about to take this out, and I'll show you the next step in a second. So we are pretty much about to fry the paste. So come closer.
Keynote: Africans use a lot of oil.
Yes, we do.
Especially this one.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay, B, that's enough.
We have onions sliced. We had 2 sliced up. The oil I've been on for, I'll say 5 minutes. You just pretty much want to just make sure that all this onion is bleached up a little bit. I know, African cooking takes a long time. I think for me only actually. My mom can cook this in like 30 minutes and she's ready. So, oh yeah.
Good.
So, of course, that's the blended, cooked down, steamed tomato, onions, and everything. So we're about to put it in the pot with the oil and the onions. So you want to stir and make sure that everything is all blended together. Yes, sir. So these are the beef that was, of course, in the pot that was being boiled. So I'm about to fry just the beef, and then I'm gonna get straight to the chicken. Deep fryer, of course, you guys know a lot about that. About to go right in. Okay, so of course we have the stew. It's already fried and everything. So what we want to do now, we actually fried. Of course, you guys saw when we were about to put in the beef. You know, just put in the beef. And of course, we did the exact same thing that we did to the beef, to the chicken. You know, fry it. Oh, it's really good, guys. And then of course with the cow's skin, we didn't fry it because of course it doesn't need frying. You just need to just put it right in. And then you have that as well. And then you just turn.
And you're gonna leave it to simmer and add some seasoning?
Oh yeah. And we'll be right back right after this break. So, remember the sauce that we used to pretty much make the meat? That's pretty much it. We're just gonna put a bit. Look in there. So,
look at this.
We already added, of course, the seasoned water. They call it
broth.
So I'm about to add a bit more thyme, just a little bit, of course, to give it that nice flavor.
Finishing touch.
And then of course I want to add some pepper.
Grounded hot pepper. See, that's a lot. Oh my god. This guy like pepper.
And then a little bit of curry.
Just a doops of curry.
And you want to add your salt. And then of course we have, do you remember what we added to the beef stock or broth? So if I didn't have the broth, I would have added at least 2 or 3 of these. But because I already had the broth and I added the water in here, I don't really need to put too much Maggi. Just one more. And we are pretty much good to go.
So that's basically the finishing ingredients for you to leave it to boil down a bit, and then the stew is basically finished. So this is just called stew, right? African stew. Is there a next name to it for it?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Huh? Is there a next name to it, baby?
Stew.
Okay.
Tomato stew.
A red stew.
Well, it looks red, but
You guys don't call it red stew, right?
tomato stew. I know a woman that said they're always looking for that thick sauce. That sauce that stays on top of the food.
Yeah, they don't like when the sauce drains through like water.
No. We love our sauce.
like it thick on top, right?
We love our sauce. Trust me.
I like it with body.
You better know that. You love your body.
How does it taste? Does a chef normally say their food tastes bad anyway?
Oh yes. Voila. Stew, steamed rice, tomato, veggie. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to Billa Vibes. Stay tuned for more and exciting videos.